नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। Myself, JVN Dr. Astha Sikarwar, Assistant Professor, Department of Organ of Medicine, Faculty of Homeopathic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today's topic is Fixed Principles from JT Kent Philosophy. In this, Dr. Kent take up the study of the last part of the third paragraph relating to the fixed principle by which the physician must be guided. In time past, outside of the doctrinal statements of homeopathy, medicine has never been a matter of experience, and the medicine today outside of homeopathy is a medicine of experience. If we observe any government, the government of the universe, civil government, the government of commerce, physical government, we find there is one center that rules and controls and is supreme. A man has within him by endowment of the divine a supreme center of government which is in the grey matter of the cerebrum and in the highest portion of the grey matter. Everything in man and everything that takes place in man is presided over primarily by this center from center to circumference. All true diseases of the economy flow from center to circumference. All mayas are true diseases. In the government of man, there is a triad first, second, and third, which gives direction the cerebrum, cerebellum, and spinal cord, or when taken more collectively or generally, the brain, spinal cord, and the nerves. Considered more internally, we have the will and understanding forming a unit making the interior man, the vital force or vice regent of the soul, which is a material, and then the body, which is material. Thus, from the innermost, the will and voluntary principle through the limbus or simple substance to the outermost, the actual or material substance of man, which is in every cell. We have this order of direction. Disease must flow in accordance with this order because there is no inward flow. Man is protected against things flowing in from the outward toward the center. All diseases flows from the innermost to the outermost, and unless drug substances are prepared in a form to do this, they can neither produce nor disease nor cure disease. There are mayas in the universe, acute and chronic. The chronic, which have no tendency toward recovery, are three: sora, syphilis, and psychosis. Out of acute and chronic mayas, there are only the results of disease to be considered. The mayas are contagious. They flow from the innermost to the outermost, and while they exit in organs, yet they are imperceptible, for they cannot exist in man unless they exist in form substantial enough to operate upon the innermost of man's physical nature. The correspondence of this innermost cannot be discovered by man's eye, by his fingers, or by any of his senses. Neither can any disease can be found with a microscope. Disease can only be perceived by its result and its flow from within out, from center to circumference, from the seat of government to the outermost. Hence, cure must be from within out. If you examine any acute myasm, you may know what it looks like, but the ease of it cannot be discovered by any of the senses. We have seen that everything is governed from the center. Now, what comes in the direction of law, what comes from principles, comes from the center, is flowing in accordance with order and can be confirmed by experience. To apply it more practically, what we learn from the use of the law of homeopathics, what we observe after learning that law and the doctrines that relate to it, all are all our subsequent experience confirms the principles. In homeopathy, it is the very principle itself that is valid, and things that are not in accordance with principle should not be admitted. We see from all this the necessity of potentization. All causes are so refined in character, so subtle in their nature, that they can operate from center to circumference, operate upon man's interiors, and from the interior to the very exterior. The coarser things cannot be permeate the skin. Man's skin is an envelope protecting him against contagion from coarser materials, but against the immaterial substance he is protected only when in perfect health. In an unguarded moment he suffers, and this is the nature and quality of disease cause. It can only flow into man from the center and towards the outermost in a way to disturb his government. The disturbance of government is a disturbance of order, and this is all there is of sickness. And we have only to follow this out to find out that the very house man lives in and his cells are becoming deranged. Changes are the result of disorder, and in breaking down degeneration, etc., pus cells and the various forms of degeneration are only the result of disorder. So long as order and harmony go on perfectly, so long the tissues are in a state of health, the metamorphosis is healthy, the tissue change is normal, the physiological state is maintained. We can only comprehend the nature of disease and tissue changes, the result of disease, by going back to its beginning. The study of etiology in the old school is a wonderful farce because it begins with nothing. It is an assumption that tissue changes are the disease. From the doctrines of homeopathy, it will be seen that morbid anatomy, no matter where it occurs, must be considered to be the result of disease. All curable diseases make themselves known to the physician by signs and symptoms. When the disease does not make itself known in signs and symptoms and its progress is in the interior, we are at once perceive that man is in a very precarious condition of the body that are incurable are such very often as have no external signs or symptoms. In the fourth paragraph, Dr. Hahnemann says the physician is likewise a preserver of health if he knows the things that derange health and cause disease and how to remove them from persons in health. If the physician believes that the causes are external, if he believes that the material changes in the body are the things that disturb health, are the fundamental cause of sickness, he will undertake to remove these. For example, he will not cut off hemorrhoids or remove the tumor. In the fifth paragraph, Hahnemann says, useful to the physician is assisting him to cure are the particulars of the most probable exciting cause of the acute disease, etc. The probable exciting cause is the inflowing of the cause as an invisible immaterial substance which, having fastened upon the interior, flows from the very center to the outermost of the economy, creating additional disorder. These measures are required a given time to operate before they can affect the external man, and this time is called the prodromal stage. This is true of SORA, syphilis, and psychosis, and of very acute contagious disease known to man. While the influx is upon the innermost of the physical man, it is not apparent, but when it begins to operate upon his nerves and tissues, affecting him in outermost, then it becomes apparent. But when it begins to operate upon his nerves and tissues, affecting him in the outermost, then it becomes apparent. Each mass produces upon the human harmony its own characteristics, just as every drug produces upon the human economy its own characteristics. Hahnemann says that these must be recognized, that the homeopathic physician must be familiar enough with disease cause, with disease manifestation and drug manifestation to be able to remove them in accordance with principles fixed and certain. There should be no hypothesis or opinion, neither should simple experience have a place. If the physician is dealing with an acute case, he must take into consideration the nature of the case as a malady and also with chronic cases. It is supposed that he is conversant with the disease from having observed the symptoms of a great many cases and is therefore able to hold before the mind and the image of the disease. When he is thoroughly conversant with the very image of the sickness that exists upon the human race, he is then prepared to study materia medica. All the imitations of the mayas are found in drugs. There is no mayas of the human race that does not have its imitation in drugs. The animal kingdom has in itself the image of sickness, and the vegetable and mineral kingdom in like manner, and if man were perfectly conversant with the substances of these three kingdoms, he could treat the whole human race. By application, the physician must fill his mind with images that correspond to the sickness of the human race. It is being conservant with symptomology, with the symptom images of disease, that makes one a physician. The books of the present time are defective in that they ignore symptomatology and do not furnish us an image of the sickness. They are extensively treatise on pathology, upon heredity, with very little of the patient himself. That is what modern pathology leads men to think and say. Everything is denied that cannot be discovered by the senses, hence, this false science has crept upon us until it is a typical folly. As to the end of sickness, what sickness will do is of no great matter, because by the symptoms we have perceived the nature of the illness and must safely trust to the remedy. If no remedy be applied to check the progress of the disease, it may localize in the heart, lungs, or kidneys. But the nature of the sickness exists in that state of disordered government expressed by sign and symptoms. This session powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention it in comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.